What's going on? It's your counselor, Polly Rob. Welcome to another episode of the Polly Rob Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe, and all the notifications is down at the bottom of how you can support the channel. Let's get right into it. Drake, ICEMAN. ICEMAN just dropped today. He had a pretty good rollout. I could say it was more of an exceptional rollout. You know what I'm saying? We got episodes, even though probably like the first two episodes is kind of off-putting, but nonetheless, he did some episodes to promo the album. He got the big block of ice, went ahead and ran that for about a day or so. Also, today he had fireworks. He had the actual tower in Toronto glowing in ice, like looking like it's like ice on the tower. That was dope. It was a lot of things that he put together for this Iceman rollout. The rollout is over. The album is here, and I'm here to give my thoughts on the album. I say my thoughts. This is not law, but this is how I feel about the album so far. First thing I'll say is a quick disclaimer. Quick disclaimer. I am a fan of some of Drake's music. I am also a fan of a lot of other artists. So if you're here to hear some type of level of a biased take on behalf of anybody, you're not going to get it here. I like to listen to albums for what they are, what they consist of, and judge it by that. My opinions only. At the same time, with Drake being a rapper of high level music that he's been putting out for more than a decade, I can only say that I'm very, very highly anticipating this album. So I'm expecting dopeness. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting high level dopeness before I got a chance to listen to this album. Now that I got a chance to listen to this album, the disclaimer is over. Here is my thoughts. First things first. The question about whether he was going to address certain things from certain people, you know, Kendrick Lamar, Rick Ross, LeBron James, DJ Khaled, Joe Budden, Charlamagne the God, he addressed everything on this Iceman album. He addressed everything. There are multiple lyrics. There are multiple shots being thrown. There are multiple lyrics that are kind of reflective of how he felt like it should have went and how it actually went. So in my opinion, he gets a plus for that because although I feel like he shouldn't have addressed certain people or just shouldn't have addressed it at all and just went ahead and dropped an album without all of the beef stuff, I still think he did address the things in a manner that he can do it musically, and at the same time, it's not overbearing. I would say it got enough, but it's not overbearing. Did he make a song specifically just going at everybody? Not necessarily, kinda. I mean, if you listen to the leak, which is 1 a.m. in Albany, it's not on the Iceman album, but if you listen to the leak, he kind of covered mostly everything. But he also, at the same time, he addressed certain things on certain records based on its energy. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie, I had to take notes on this because I want to just explain all my thoughts on this album. So, first things first, the first record, Make Them Cry, is probably one of the best records on the project. You know how it is. Anytime Drake does a record and it has a dope beat change and it's placed as the intro, you know he gonna do it right. He gonna sauce it up. You know what I'm saying? His lyrics was dope. You know, this is one of the records where he talks about situations of how he felt like people should have acted and how they ended up acting. You know, he definitely name drops, he throws shots, but it's beautifully laid out in terms of the production and the beat switch and the way he approaches the lyricism. It lets you know that he's not afraid to dive deep into what's been going on with him for the past 2 years. I think one of the lyrics he actually says that, like, says something to the magnitude of like, I'm letting you know what's going on for the past 2 years. Like he kind of addresses that. You know what I mean? So I think for me, I think that's one of the most strongest records on the album. I'm gonna go through the records that I feel like are standout records for me because I have pros and I have cons. I'm gonna state my pros and then we're gonna get into the cons. You know what I'm saying? Also, Run to Atlanta with Future is a pretty solid record. It's a pretty solid record. You know, Future's on there. It's another record that has a beat switch. Future does his thing the way he's supposed to do it. In my opinion, is it the best hook and the best combination of Drake and Future? No, but it's refreshing to hear that they got back together and did a record. The record didn't sound like it was something that was thrown together. It didn't sound like they just gave each other verses. It sounded like a record that they was in there laying it down. That's what it sounds like. Whether that actually happened or not, I don't know. But they both have strong points on the project. They definitely have strong points. The record, I would say, is a good record. It could definitely grow on you. Is it a super slapper? In my opinion, no. But it's a good record, and I think if people play it enough, it'll grow on you. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that they got a chance to even reconcile any type of differences, because to be able to have somebody on the album that was first your friend, you got into a little beef or a little spat, and then to be back on the next project that Drake puts out is a good thing. It's a good thing for hip hop. It's a good thing for just music in general. And I hope that in the future that more artists can kind of mend, not just with Drake, I'm just talking about across the board, that more artists can mend their differences and be able to move forward and make some great music. I think that was dope. Another standout record is Free. Free is another standout record. I love the production on Free. Free was pretty dope. The hook, in my opinion, could have been a little bit better, but Drake is Drake, so he gonna do it his way. But the lyrics on Free was really fire, because he's explaining from his point of view. This is what I want to do. This is the state that I want to be in. This is what Drake is talking about on Free. This is the state that I want to be in, but it's hard because I'm dealing with, people against me, you know what I'm saying, the industry against me. It's a lot of things that I'm fighting for. Whether you believe that this is true for Drake or not, this is his thoughts, this is his truth. And he just wants to be free to do whatever it is he wants to do, which in hindsight, all artists want to do that. All artists want to be free and do what they feel like is right for themselves, which is not a problem. No matter what you go through, you should be able to come to a point in time where you could just get back to being free and just doing what you love for the right reasons. I really like that record. You know what I'm saying? Sidebar, that record sounded like something that J. Cole would rap over. But Drake did his thing on that. He did his thing. That's one of the strongest records on the project, in my opinion, for this ICEMAN project. You know what I'm saying? I know that there's more music, but I'm just talking about ICEMAN for now. Another record, which this is surprising, and I gotta be honest. This song we heard before. The next song I'm talking about, we heard this before because it was already leaked months ago. And in that time, when they leaked it, it was an okay record, but it didn't hit the way it was supposed to. It didn't hit the way we felt like a record from Drake at that time was supposed to do, in my opinion. Now, listening to this ICEMAN album, I have to say, I gotta be honest, this record is actually probably one or two of the strongest records on the project. I gotta be honest. It's probably one or two of the strongest records on the project. The song is What Did I Miss? What Did I Miss is probably one or two of the strongest records on this ICEMAN album. I'm not talking about the other ones. I'm talking about ICEMAN. The beat, of course, was always infectious, but when you listen to it now, it got a bounce to it that's crazy fire. And I'm not trying to be I'm not biased to anything, but when I listen to a record a couple of times in its entirety, I can honestly say, compared to the other records on this ICEMAN project, What Did I Miss is one of the stronger ones. As far as production, lyrics-wise, it's still got a bounce to it, but it got some lines that are catchy. You got some phrases and some pre-hooks that are catchy. You know what I mean? It's the best hook, in my opinion, on the entire ICEMAN project. It's the best hook. Every other hook either has hit potential or it's just grazing being infectious. What Did I Miss actually is a great hook. Even if you don't agree with his mind state of what did I miss, like, because, in my opinion, I did a blog before. When I heard the What Did I Miss, I didn't dislike the hook. I liked the hook. I just disliked the mental state that he was in for him to say, what did I miss? You missing the point. You missing the point of what just happened to you. That's what I was talking about. You missed the point of what actually happened to you. You need to wake up and smell the roses. But the hook is money. It's money. And I'll get back to that. I'll get back to that record and why that's going to lead into the cons of the project. Also, I think probably another very strong record that's right up there with What Did I Miss is Too Hard for the Radio. Too Hard for the Radio. That record is dope. It sounds like a West Coast type of record. You know what I'm saying? Drake does well on West Coast type of records. He does well on those type of songs. I know he made that record because the context of the record is actually made to mock, of course, his enemy, Kendrick Lamar. He's trying to mock him. He's trying to mock radio. He's trying to mock people who he feel like went against him when the whole battle hit. And he's trying to shoot back. It's still a dope record. It's still a dope record. It got the bounce to it. It got the energy to it. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. But I feel like he should have took that beat and he should have just made a bop. I think what he tried to do, he tried to make a Not Like Us for him. He tried to make a Not Like Us for him with the Too Hard for the Radio. That's what he tried to do. And then he also tried to, of course, shoot out the radio. Like, I guess he's trying to talk trash about them so they won't play the record. I don't know. I don't know what's your agenda, but it's still a dope record in my opinion. Is he throwing shots? Yes, he is. Yes, he is, once again. But it's still a bop. It's still something that if a DJ wanted to play it in the club, if the radio wanted to play it, it's going to energize the people. It'll definitely do that. Two more records that I want to talk about. Little Birdie and Firm Friends. Little Birdie and Firm Friends. I like those records. Although I feel like it sounds like the same record, and it also sounds like other records on ICEMAN that I haven't named. But those records are the strongest ones out of that style and that flavor. Those are the strongest ones. Little Birdie is dope. He throwing shots again. Firm Friends, we heard that before because that was the Conductor record that was leaked a couple months ago. But once again, it was a leaked record that ended up being on ICEMAN, the album, and it ended up being a strong record on the project. You feel what I'm saying? Which is a good and bad thing, and I'll get to that. I'll definitely get to that. Overall, out of 18 records, I gotta be honest. I have to be honest. Out of 18 records, there's about 6 or 7 good records. Good records. Good records. There is not a hit on this project. There is not a hit record on this project. I want to be clear. On this ICEMAN project, there is not a hit record. And we all know what a hit record is. Something that's super infectious. You can't deny it. There is not a hit record on the ICEMAN album. Album 1. Y'all can argue with me all y'all want. There is not a hit record on ICEMAN. I'm sorry. There's good records. There's records that can turn into something. It's no off the rip hit. Like as soon as you hear that, like, oh, I already know what this is. This is out of here. It's no hit record on ICEMAN. I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all want to take that as a good thing or a bad thing because he dropped 2 other albums. But on this first one, no. There's no obvious hit record. I don't know. I don't care how much of a fan you are. I don't care how much of a fan you not. Clearly, there's no hit record on this project. But there's a couple of records that stand out that are good records, and I think will get enough spins to carry the project. I think that'll get enough rotation to carry the project. I think that DJs are going to pick their records. They're going to pick their spots. So let's get into the cons. So the bad things about this album is that there's too many records that sound like the same record. I don't know if that's a thing that just Drake and 40 do. I don't know if 40's producing the whole thing, but it's way too many records that just sound like the same record. I mean, hey, don't shoot the messenger. This is my opinion. I gave y'all the good things about the album. Now I got to give y'all the things I don't like. Too many beats sound the same. Too many hooks is in the same pocket. Even the singing on this project. The singing on this project is like the same cadence. He not really even singing. He not trying to really do his thing with the singing part. He just trying to, say what he want to say, then move on to the next. That's my opinion. I'm not saying he got to sing like Chris Brown. I'm not saying he got to be a Leon Thomas. But remember, as much as we like you for your lyricism and your lyrics, we like you for your singing too. Songs like I Better Find Your Lovin', songs like I'm So Proud of You on the hook. Like, we know you got talent at this, but these R&B records or these singing songs that you got, they're lazy, bro. You were being lazy. I got to keep it 100. Listen to it as much as y'all want to. It's lazy R&B work. I got to be honest. The lyrics are okay, pretty cool for those, but it's lazy R&B work. You better than that, Drake. You way better than that. Also, a couple more before I get out of here. A lot of those records are dragging. They're slow. They're dragging. We can take 1 or 2 of them, but a lot of those songs are dragging, especially the ones that it's a slow pace, but it's like 4.5 minutes. You could have did without those. You could have cut out 6 records. 6 out of the 18 could have made it a 12 piece, and you only got like 1 or 2 of those dragging records. Some of those records are dragging too much, bro. I know you're trying to make something for the car and everything, but I gotta be, man, I'm being so honest. On part of the project, I started falling asleep, bro. I gotta be honest. I started to doze off because it's so slow. Now, I know your intent. Your intent is to make it for, with your girl, in the car, chilling, vibing, smoke something, have a little glass of wine. I get what you're saying. But the music is putting me to sleep. It's not giving me a good, warm, fuzzy feeling to chill to. It's literally, I don't want to say this, but I got to be honest, man. Some of those records is melatonin, bro. Some of those records is like melatonin. It's putting people to sleep. Stop doing that. Stop making them records, bro. Stop. One or two is okay. If you listen to Marvin's Room and then you listen to some of these other records on this ICEMAN project, you'll see what I mean. Even though Marvin's Room has a slow pace, it's still got a bounce to it. So bad. It's still got a pace. It got a pace that got a bop to it still. These records is just slow and sleepy. Stop doing that, bro. I'm sorry. Take those off. Take those off. Last but not least, my last one before I go. ICEMAN, in my opinion, I feel like ICEMAN is a throwaway album. I feel like Drake baited y'all with all of these records that he was leaking. He was baiting y'all, then he just put it all on one project. I think this sound like a throwaway album. It don't have no super slap. We know Drake got slappers in them hard drives. We know he got amazing records in those hard drives. We ain't getting no reggae joint. We ain't getting no up-tempo R&B duet. We didn't get no Caribbean type thing. We didn't get none of that. We didn't get the super pop joint. We didn't get no what's that record that he did with his dad? Something for a mile away. Something for the things you say. We didn't get none of that. He just gave y'all songs that sound good and that can translate, but it ain't no hits. I feel like ICEMAN is a throwaway album. That's my opinion, man. I'm sorry. Let's talk in the comments. I want y'all to put it in the comments. We can argue all day. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear what y'all feel about the project. I want to hear about what y'all think I'm missing from the project. Please. We just went through it with the leak for 1 a.m. in Albany. Y'all was telling me some lines I was missing, some bars I was missing. I appreciate that. Let's get through this ICEMAN album. Let's talk about it. Now, for the second album, you got to catch blog number 2.